Hello, everybody. This is another episode of Morning Jim. It's actually not quite morning here. It's afternoon, but we can't change the name of the show just because of the time of day, so you're out of luck if you tuned in too early. Behind me, I have a rogues gallery of pictures drawn by my granddaughter, Andrea, and that way up in the upper corner there is my grandson, Alex, and then in the other upper corner is the lovely Lauren, and then down here is the lovely Laurel, her mother, and over here is that real tough-looking guy is their dad, and that's Christian Echevarria. So I'm at my residence in Sewickley/Edgeworth Borough in Pennsylvania, and I'm coming home tomorrow. So I thought I'd want you to get a good look at the family that I've been living with, and they've really been great. They have really been kind of expensive to feed, but other than that, my granddaughter's sitting right over here at my right shoulder, so she's rolling her eyes with about half the things I say. Anyway, I'm going to go forward with our usual format, which is only usual for about a day at a time, but which will always include poetry. And I want to read 2 poems today, and then we'll have a little humor, and then we'll call it quits, because I know everybody's got other things to do. These are 2 poems that I've written. It's been my intention to read a poem of my own, and then at least one by other poets, some of whom you may be familiar with and some you won't be. But being here in Sewickley, I really don't have all my poetry library to refer to, so you're going to be stuck with my poetry, and I hope you won't find it too trying. The first one I wrote a couple of years ago, and it's called Remembrance. Walking slowly up the wooden stairs, I pause upon the landing. Perfume from her hair lingers there, or from the travertine perhaps, or some sachet hidden in a drawer. The quiet secrets of this room upcoming and all the faint ghosts hiding in the corners await me and overwhelm my memory with echoing voices, the visions of eyes, of lips, of tears, of kisses. Do we take joy in our remembrances? Better to flee these encumbrances that swell our memories. There is a dry rosebud on the stair. I wonder if she left it there. As many of you may recognize, I wrote that in memory of Marcia, who is a friend of all. Okay, now we're going to have a poem with maybe a little more humor in it, and a poem that dates from my wartime memories way back in 1943. It's called Killing Chickens. I can remember my mother killing chickens. My brother gathered the neighbor boys, and a few girls showed up, but squealed themselves unpopular. Mother grew up on a farm and knew that chickens were for 2 things, both tasty. So you had to kill them for the first thing, a fried chicken. Little boys all thirst for killing critters. until it's educated out of them by teachers with elevated views. And girls, they think, are probably better than they are. Nobody kills chickens in the backyard anymore. The war has been over for a long time. We have assembly lines for killing, supermarkets for buying the neatly wrapped yellow-skinned poults, where not a single pin feather is left to offend. And that's killing chickens. So Remembrance and Killing Chickens, both poems that I've written within the last 5 years. Now, I always like to have a few good laughs during the day. And one of them came in the last few days from a pepper and salt cartoon in the Wall Street Journal. And the pepper and salt comic has been in the Wall Street Journal, and not always drawn by the same cartoonist, but they've been in that journal for at least the last 60 years, and maybe it's possible for even 100 years. But the current one here that I want to show you, just to give you an idea of the picture, is a human resources woman at a desk, and she's talking to this young man about a job. And she says, "How do you feel about backstabbing? It's all the rage around here." I thought that was funny. And that's probably happening in a lot of offices, both the ones that are online and the ones that are for real. Now here's another cartoon from Pepper and Salt, and it just shows two women of uncertain age, but young, I think, and they're sitting in a restaurant or coffee shop, and they're having a drink of some kind. And there's what the picture looks like. And the one is saying to the other one, "Jared's okay, but he doesn't fit my algorithm." My granddaughter's sitting over here smiling. None of these are causing her to guffaw. They're probably too close to home.
I'm trying to not interrupt your show.
Then there's another gentleman, and he's sort of sitting back, relaxing in his flexible office chair, and he's looking at his laptop on the desk. And here's what that looks like. And he says, "I have the app, but I don't have the stomach to watch my retirement fund in real time." I think a lot of us can sympathize with that. Okay, everybody, I hope that this episode of Morning Jim will suit you, and if anybody has any suggestions for poetry that they'd like to have read, or poets whose poems they would like to have me touch on, or if you have any criticisms about my camera presence or my style, please let me know what they are. Maybe we can fix them, and then again, maybe not. I hope you all have a great weekend. I'll be traveling first to Nashville and then back to Kansas City Airport, and then back to Brewster Place, where I will undoubtedly be temperatured and have my blood oxygen checked. And then, if I pass those two tests, I'll be quarantined for 2 weeks. But it was worth it. A great visit here at my in-laws' house, which is called Rosemont, and it's in the Edgeworth borough of Sewickley. And it's a great place. But so is Brewster Place, and I'm looking forward to coming home, and I'll be doing another morning JIM from Brewster within the next week or less. Thanks for your attention, and I hope you enjoyed the poetry today. Bye now.